Europe's fragile front against Russia and China is splintering. In Berlin, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz admitted Europe cannot pressure Putin, bluntly conceding that the EU is powerless without Washington.
We are not in a position as Europeans at the moment, and that bothers me. We are not in a position to exert enough pressure on Putin to end this war. We are dependent on the help of the Americans.
Merz warned that Europe's weakness is mirrored by the rise of a rival power bloc, with China, India, and Brazil openly strengthening their ties with Moscow under the Shanghai Cooperation umbrella.
What concerns me is the fact that we as Europeans are not currently playing the role in the world that we actually want to play and that we should play in order to ensure that our interests are adequately safeguarded.
In Budapest, Hungarian Foreign Minister Peter Szijjártó turned the tables on Brussels, lashing out at fellow EU states as hypocrites, accusing them of buying Russian oil secretly while demanding Hungary stop doing it openly.
Among those who shout the loudest, there are a significant number of people who buy Russian oil in the same way, but in a roundabout way via certain Asian countries. They buy Russian oil secretly because it is cheaper, and we buy Russian oil openly because we have no other option.
Then came Bratislava. Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico has broken openly with Brussels and Kiev. He insists Slovakia will act sovereignly on energy, rejecting pressure from Europe and Ukraine alike.
We will behave very sovereignly as the Slovak Republic. We do not want to be part of the games on energy. That you must not do this because it is politically so. We will make all decisions that are good for Slovak sovereign policy.
And in Kiev, a tense face-off played out on camera. Fico arrived for talks with Volodymyr Zelensky just days after meeting Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Across the table, Zelensky pressed for escalation and collective European pressure, while Fico pushed back on Ukraine's strikes, warning they damage Slovakia too.
Ukraine is responding to Russian attacks on our energy infrastructure, and it will respond. There is no future for Russian oil and Russian gas.
We discussed the issue of attacks on oil infrastructure on the territory of the Russian Federation, and I stand by the statements that say military attacks on legitimate targets are also damaging to the Slovak Republic.
In Warsaw, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk cut through Europe's rhetoric with his own admission. Despite countless meetings, Europe has failed to deliver results. His appeal was directed not to Brussels, but to Donald Trump.
Everyone is disappointed by the lack of results despite the efforts from European countries and from the President of the United States. All of this shows that Europe is determined, towards President Trump, to end the war.
Tusk then took aim at Hungary and Slovakia directly, blasting their attendance at China's military parade alongside Putin and Xi Jinping, calling it a bad look for Europe at a moment of deepening division.
We do not want Russian oil. We do not want Russian gas. It still needs to reach Prime Minister Orbán and Prime Minister Fico. The presence of the Slovak Prime Minister and the Hungarian Foreign Minister at this anti-Western demonstration looked a bit bad.
The picture is unmistakable. Germany admits weakness, Hungary and Slovakia defy openly, Ukraine escalates, and Poland pleads with Washington. At the very moment Europe claims unity, its cracks are on full display, with Putin and Xi watching closely.